One day, when Jesus was going about his preaching, he saw the crowds that were following up, and he went up into a mountainside, sat down, and the disciples came to him, and he began to teach them. This is according to Matthew chapter 5. And this records the first of 5 major speeches that Jesus did, as recorded in the book of Matthew. I encourage you to go through them and understand what Jesus was all talking about. But I want us to touch today, this morning, on a few things that, touch points that were in this speech that Jesus gave. One is that when Jesus was speaking, he spoke about the beatitude, the blessed is the poor in spirit and all that. But I want us to touch on verse 21, which says, "You have heard that it was said to people long ago, you shall not murder, and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment. But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister, will be subject to judgment." And he continues on and on and on, talking about how you settle matters quickly with the adversary who is taking you to court. He talks about adultery. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery, but I tell you, anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And he talks about divorce, and talks about oaths. And that is where also is possesses a very important point. Again, you have heard it was said to the people long ago, do not break your oath, but fulfill the Lord's vows you've made. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Do not keep saying, I swear by whatever and whatever. And he talks about all that. So when I looked at this particular chapter of Matthew chapter 5, I discovered one thing. What Jesus was telling the people is to change their thinking patterns, just to change how they think, how they look at things, how they view stuff, how they view the laws that are given to them. Why is that important? It is important because later on in the Bible you'll find a place written, as a man thinketh, so he is. As a man thinketh, so he is. It is because as whatever is in your mind, whatever is forming what you think, will surely be translated in what you do. So the first thing that you need to do is to guard your mind, is to guard your thinking processes, is to dictate how your thought processes are. Subconsciously, our mind is going to lead us into a certain direction, start thinking about things, but of course based on circumstances, based on history, based on what we have been through and all that. But it's like Jesus is telling us to rethink, or to control what we think, to look at, to think about what we think. Because when we know what we think, then the manifestation of what we think is what is going to be seen. It will be the fruits that we possess. So it's a call for all of us to rethink, and to rethink how we think. I know it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's to rethink how we think. And once we are able to control our thought processes, we will be able to conquer anything that is ahead of us. Do not let your thought processes, do not let what you see what you see dictate what you think. Your reaction to things will make a difference. How you react to a circumstance, how you react to that thing that is coming your way will be what will make a difference. It will be what will be great, or will be what will be a disaster to your life. Always think before you act. Always look at things in a different way, and always go back and think and rethink your thoughts before acting. That's my call for us today. See you tomorrow.